Across the vast African savanna, every breath and every step can tip the balance between life and death. This is a land where survival is earned through constant exposure to danger, where threats remain close even during moments that seem peaceful. Here, strength is not defined by appearance or raw aggression, but by the ability to endure when all forces push toward collapse. Within this unforgiving landscape, few presences command as much respect as the alliance of the Cape buffalo. Their power does not lie in speed or individual cunning, but in unity, resilience, and unwavering resolve. Together they form one of the most formidable forces on the African plains, a living barrier standing against hunger predators and the relentless passage of time. Every movement of the herd is a statement of survival, a collective answer to a world that offers no second chances. In this way, the savanna becomes an endless arena of struggle where life continues through endurance, cooperation, and the refusal to yield. In Africa, survival belongs to those who can stand firm. The soft light of dawn slowly spreads across the open plains, awakening a landscape that has followed the same rhythm for countless generations. Nothing unfolds in haste or chaos, only the whisper of wind through dry grasses and the steady breathing of animals preparing to face another day. In this land, true power is not found in appearance, but in endurance. In the distance, massive shapes begin to move across the horizon. These are Cape buffalo, formidable animals known for their unpredictable temperament and unbreakable social bonds. At the front walks a fully grown bull. His broad curved horns merge at the forehead, forming a natural shield that few predators could ever breach. He leads what is often called a strong alliance, a coalition of the most powerful males bound together by a single purpose: survival. African buffalo are far from easy targets. Many weigh over 700 kilograms, and their thick hides and dense muscle allow them to withstand attacks from even the most feared hunters of the savanna. Yet their greatest defense is not individual strength, but the unity of the herd. They move as one, tightly grouped and constantly alert. Ears flick in every direction, eyes scan the tall grass without pause. If one slows, the others adjust. When danger appears, they do not flee, they regroup, stand firm, and confront the threat together. As the sun climbs higher and heat begins to blanket the savanna, a quiet danger takes shape. Within the golden tones of the grass, subtle movements glide almost unseen. A group of lionesses fans out, approaching from multiple angles. They are strategic, patient, and fully aware of the risk ahead. Buffalo are not ideal prey, they are dangerous opponents. But when hunger grows strong, every choice carries its own peril. The strong alliance presses forward, their heavy hooves striking the cracked earth in a steady rhythm. Unaware to them, only meters away, several amber eyes track every movement with unwavering focus. One buffalo on the outer edge of the group begins to lag behind. He is not injured, but his breathing grows labored. That alone is enough. The attack never fully unfolds. The buffalo collapses from exhaustion, and the lionesses halt, stepping back with measured caution. They have achieved their goal. The confrontation is over. On the African savanna, there are no permanent victors, only animals that manage to endure one more day. Today, the strong alliance pays a price, losing one of its own. It is the unavoidable cost of the endless struggle between predators and the power of unity. The wind rises dry and relentless, sweeping fine dust across the fractured ground. The grass lies short and brittle as the dry season refuses to loosen its grip. Within the strong alliance, tension thickens. The bulls begin to study one another, standing still, locked in gangland evaluation. The air fills with the sharp scent of hormones, an unmistakable signal that a clash is imminent. Two of the largest buffalo step forward until they stand face to face. There are no warning calls, no dramatic displays. Cape buffalo do not waste energy on empty threats. When conflict comes, it is direct, deliberate, and decisive. In a sudden flash, everything unfolds at once. Two bodies weighing hundreds of kilograms crash together with explosive force. The collision sends a tremor through the ground. One of them falters for a split second, just long enough. That brief loss of balance is all it takes for fate to be decided. The victor remains standing, breathing hard, head held high, eyes steady and unyielding. This victory goes far beyond the clash itself. It grants the right to breed, to pass strength and resilience on to the next generation. There is no celebration, no outward display of dominance. Only the quiet enforcement of nature's oldest rules, where life moves forward through those able to endure, prevail, and protect what follows them. Before the dust stirred up in lion territory has time to fully settle, the savanna slips back into its steady, timeless rhythm. In the distance, massive shapes emerge, moving with the calm certainty of drifting hills. These are African elephants. These gentle giants dominate the African landscape. The African elephant, Loxodonta africana, is the largest land animal alive today. Fully grown adults can weigh more than 6 tons, and their enormous ears, spread wide like sails, help release excess heat under the relentless sun. Their trunk, long and remarkably dexterous, is an indispensable tool. It allows them to breathe, drink, gather food, communicate, and even express emotion. Unlike buffalo or big cats, elephant society is guided by experience rather than strength. At the heart of each herd stands the matriarch, the oldest and most knowledgeable female. Within her memory lies a living archive of the savanna, an unseen map that reveals where water can be found during drought, which grounds are safest for giving birth, and which areas must be avoided due to dangers rooted in the past. The herd moves forward at an unhurried pace, yet with absolute purpose. The calves remain at the center at all times, encircled by adults who guard them without pause. At the slightest hint of danger, the group closes ranks, instantly forming a living barrier, silent, solid, and formidable. Elephants rarely seek confrontation, but when they are cornered, especially if their young are threatened, their response can be overwhelming. Even lions understand that a united elephant herd is not an opponent worth challenging. Beyond their immense size, these animals play a vital role in shaping the ecosystem. By pushing over shrubs and trees, they open the landscape, allowing grasses to flourish. When they dig for water, they unknowingly create lifelines that sustain countless other species during the dry season. Seeds travel with them across the savanna, scattered with every step they take. Wherever elephants roam, the land is changed not suddenly or violently, but gradually, deeply, and forever. In a world defined by constant competition, African elephants remind us that true strength lies not only in the ability to defend oneself, but in the power to support, reshape, and sustain life itself. As those peaceful giants disappear beyond the horizon, the savanna carries on with its timeless rhythm. This is a land where every species, whether predator or grazer, plays a crucial role in keeping nature's machinery alive. Suddenly, the ground begins to shudder. At first, it is a faint vibration, barely noticeable. Within seconds, it builds into a deep, thunderous pulse that spreads across the plains. Far away, faint shapes take form. Then come hundreds, soon thousands of animals moving as one, flowing across the open land like an endless tide. They are wildebeest, heavy-bodied, broad-headed antelopes with curved horns sweeping outward. The blue wildebeest Conocetes taurinus may look clumsy at first glance, but appearances are deceiving. It is one of the toughest and most enduring species in Africa. Wildebeest live and travel in vast herds driven by instinct alone. An ancient urge compels them forward without rest, always searching for fresh grazing grounds and dependable water. Their great annual migration, repeated year after year across generations, remains one of the most extraordinary wildlife events on the planet. Within the herd, safety is never guaranteed. Newborn calves must stand and run within minutes of entering the world. The weakest individuals are especially vulnerable, often falling victim to lions, hyenas, or crocodiles during dangerous river crossings. Yet it is this very abundance, the sheer size of the herd, that ensures the species endures. While predators focus their attention on a single target, countless others continue moving forward without pause. Wildebeest are more than prey. They are a driving force of the ecosystem itself. By grazing relentlessly, they prevent grasses from growing old and dry, encouraging fresh shoots to emerge. Their droppings return vital nutrients to the soil, sustaining insects, birds, and countless smaller organisms. As the herd advances, it shapes the path for life around it. Zebras trail behind. Lions follow in silence, and scavengers wait patiently for opportunity. Every step taken by this living river strengthens the intricate web of African life. Without wildebeest, the savanna would lose its rhythm. Without migration, the renewal of the grasslands would falter. And when the herd finally fades into the distance, wrapped in a rising cloud of dust, the land falls quiet, waiting for the next great heartbeat. Then the first heavy rain arrives, sudden, powerful, and full of promise. This is the moment Cape buffalo have been waiting for. Within the herd, the change is unmistakable. The females' bodies signal renewal, and the land itself, now green and revived, announces the beginning of the breeding season. Expectant mothers move toward open level ground where long sight lines reduce the risk of surprise attacks. In these exposed spaces, predators have fewer places to hide, and vigilance becomes the herd's greatest ally. With the return of water and fresh grass, a new cycle of life begins, timed precisely to the rhythms of the savanna. There is no chaos, no confusion. The birth unfolds quietly in rhythm with the ancient heartbeat of the savanna. A buffalo calf enters the world. Its legs tremble, its dark coat glistens beneath the light rain. Within minutes, it must struggle to its feet. Here there is no space for weakness. The mother stays close, her massive body forming a living shield. Around her, other females gather instinctively, creating a protective wall of muscle and horns. Every stare is alert, every movement deliberate. Lions, hyenas, and leopards understand that approaching a buffalo herd at this moment carries serious risk. Still, danger is never fully absent. The rains bring abundance, but they also draw predators. Calves must learn quickly to keep pace with the herd, to recognize unfamiliar sounds, to adapt from their first days to a life shaped by constant vigilance. Beneath the gray skies of the wet season, the Cape buffalo herd presses on. New lives merge into the endless flow of the savanna. The tracks left in the soft mud are soon washed away by the rain. Yet the mark of the calving season remains. In the African savanna, every rainfall does more than restore green to the land. It opens the door to a new generation. For the Cape buffalo, it is a promise of continuity, shared strength, unity, and resilience in a land that never stops testing them. Do you think the alliance of Cape buffalo is strong enough to deter every predator? Share your thoughts in the comments. Gambia stretches like a narrow, vibrant ribbon through the heart of West Africa, where the river sets the rhythm of life and nature follows its own rules. Here, water, forest, and sky are bound together in a constant struggle to endure. The murky riverbanks hold untold stories of resilience, while dense mangroves and sun-scorched savannas conceal silent threats. Every corner carries danger. Every pause can be fatal. In Gambia, all living beings exist within a fragile balance between survival and disappearance. With each sunrise, a new trial begins. Before the heat takes control of the day, hunger awakens the oldest instincts. This is Gambia, small in size, yet vast in the power of its untamed spirit. Deep within the riverine forests, a presence moves with flawless stealth. It is the leopard Panthera pardus, a master of silence, embodying both elegance and deadly precision. Its golden coat, patterned with dark rosettes, blends seamlessly with shifting light and shadow. From high in the trees, it watches with unwavering focus, studying every movement, weighing every possibility. In this land, the leopard is both feared and admired. It embodies raw strength and the art of survival. Its amber eyes mirror the sunlit savannas by day and the moon-washed forests by night. Within the fragile balance of nature, it rules without ceremony, quiet, methodical, and undeniably dominant. The first light of dawn slips gently through the dense green canopy. The air remains cool, heavy with the scent of damp soil and newly awakened plants. Near the water's edge, concealed beneath thick brush, the leopard opens its eyes. The hollow ache in its stomach is a clear signal the day demands another hunt. Rising with smooth, controlled movements, it glides across grass still wet with dew. Suddenly, a faint trace of warm skin drifts through the air. In a nearby clearing, a bushbuck antelope rests calmly bathed in the morning sun, unaware that danger is already closing in. Step by step, the predator closes in without a sound. Its body lowers to the ground, muscles coiled tight like a spring ready to release. The gap narrows. The leopard's heartbeat falls into rhythm with the stillness around it. Then in a split second, everything changes. It surges forward. A flash of gold cuts through the grass. Almost immediately, calm returns, broken only by the heavy breathing of the hunter standing over its captured prey. A warm breeze moves through the leaves, carrying away the last traces of the sudden struggle. The leopard tightens its grip as the motion beneath it fades. The decisive bite is swift and exact, a reminder of the price paid for survival. In this world, life continues through patience, precision, and the courage to strike at precisely the right moment. The forest remains alert as it always does, poised for the next chase, the next heartbeat, the next story to be written without a sound. Dawn spreads its golden light across the dense canopy of Gambia's forests, setting the leaves aglow as if brushed by a gentle flame. Nearby, leopard cubs with bright eyes and softly spotted coats tumble and play, nipping at one another's tails in harmless games. Without drawing attention, their mother slips into the deeper shadows, beginning her daily hunt. She moves low and silent ears, tuned to every signal, each step measured on soil still cool from the night. Then behind her, the calm shatters without warning. Harsh, chaotic cries erupt from within the jungle. A troop of baboons surges forward like a living storm. They are not natural predators of the leopard, but their strength in numbers and collective aggression can be deadly. Without hesitation, one of the cubs bolts for the nearest tree claws, digging into the bark as it scrambles upward in panic. The baboons react instantly, climbing just as fast, their bodies perfectly adapted for pursuit among the branches. In moments, the cub is cornered on the highest, most fragile limb it can reach. Its cries are sharp and fearful, cutting through the morning chorus of the forest like an alarm. Far away, the mother had already begun her hunt, yet something deep within her stirs. A sudden, unsettling sense of danger takes hold. Maternal instinct ignites without warning. The hunt no longer matters. She races back through the trees at full speed, weaving past trunks and roots, closing the distance with every powerful stride. When she arrives, the sight stops her cold for an instant. The baboons have surrounded her cub high in the tree. The cub freezes in place, its fur standing on end, eyes scanning desperately for an escape that does not exist. Below, the mother remains concealed within nearby bushes, tracking every movement of her adversaries. A direct attack would be fatal against so many strong, aggressive rivals. One baboon edges closer, fangs bared and voice raised in a furious display, but stops short of striking. The message is unmistakable, a warning, a claim of dominance over this space. Slowly, the troop becomes aware of the silent presence watching from below. two golden eyes burn from the shadows. One by one, the baboons retreat from the tree and melt back into the dense green vegetation. The clamor fades until only the familiar rhythm of the forest remains. In an instant, the mother springs toward the trunk, climbing with practiced precision, her claws locking into old grooves in the bark. The cub sees her and begins its careful descent. Step by step, it climbs down to where she waits. Reassured by her presence, the mother leans in, presses her head gently against the cub's, and licks its fur, calming the fear and restoring a fragile sense of safety. The cub presses itself against her chest, drawing comfort from the warmth of her body. The moment ends without further conflict. No blood is spilled. Yet deep within the leopard's mind, the memory is etched clearly, and it will not fade easily. Morning light now spreads gently across the open plain, washing the forest's edge in soft shades of gold and signaling the rise of the day's heat. In scattered groups, the baboons move through the grass, foraging calmly, plucking wild fruits with nimble, well-practiced fingers. Their calls echo across the open land, playful in tone, yet still carrying the confidence born from yesterday's encounter. Driving the leopard family away has become an unspoken badge of triumph, strengthening their sense of security. But from within the shadows, a pair of golden eyes watches with unwavering focus. The leopard mother has only one thought: today the balance will be answered. Her body is held in controlled tension like a living spring, prepared to unleash immense power without hesitation. Every muscle works in complete silence. She moves forward with precise steps, her belly skimming the ground as she melts into the shifting shadows shaped by the sun. The baboons, unaware of any danger, remain absorbed in their search for food. No heads turn. No sentry stands watch. They sense nothing. The predator is already within striking distance. The leopard lowers her profile even further as she closes in. She glides ahead with almost imperceptible grace. Still, the baboons fail to notice the threat drawing nearer. Her entire body tightens, perfectly poised, conserving energy as she waits for the exact moment to act. Then, in the blink of an eye, stealth gives way to explosive speed. A streak of gold surges across the clearing, powered by muscle instinct and a mother's fierce resolve. Order collapses instantly. Sharp alarm calls pierce the air as the group scatters in every direction. But for one, the escape comes too late. Its cry is cut short as the leopard's strike finds its mark, swift and decisive, ending the chase in a single precise motion. Swift and efficient, the leopard brings the confrontation to an end. The rest of the troop retreats toward the trees, yesterday's confidence collapsing into pure panic. With effortless strength, she lifts the lifeless weight and moves away, her gaze steady, her presence unquestionable. No sound is needed. The message is clear. She has returned and the balance has been answered. She crosses the open grassland without slowing, leaving behind the silent trace of her success. At the edge of her territory, two small shapes emerge from the cover of vegetation. Her cubs approach carefully, noses lifted, testing the air. The familiar scent triggers an instant recognition. They understand at once this is the threat that filled them with fear only a day before. For the mother, this was never just a hunt. It was a reckoning written in instinct and resolve. She knows other trials will come, but for now, order has been restored. As stillness settles once more over the plain, one truth remains unspoken yet unmistakable. The leopard's family is not to be challenged. She closes her eyes, not in weakness, but in the quiet certainty of a predator that has fulfilled its role. Dawn washes the wet land in soft shades of pale gold. A thin veil of mist rises from the still water, drifting upward like a quiet, held breath. The baboons stir early, alert and watchful. From the shelter of the forest, they emerge in loose clusters and move with purpose toward the shoreline. This morning, their focus is on tender shoots and fresh leaves growing among the aquatic plants at the water's edge. The troop spreads out along the muddy banks. Some wade into the shallow water, skillfully plucking green leaves with practiced hands. Others settle on dry patches of ground, chewing eagerly, their lips stained with fresh vegetation. The scene is calm, shaped by the soft sounds of feeding, gentle splashes, and the muted calls of the young. Then, without warning, a deep growl cuts through the stillness like a sudden clap of thunder. Two dominant males square off, their bodies stiffen for bristling as ancient instincts take over. They charge at one another with explosive force, colliding in a clash of muscle and will. Teeth flash, limbs strike, and harsh cries fill the marsh, echoing through the distant trees like the sounds of battle. The group freezes. Some voices rise, urging the fight on, while others pull back to avoid stray blows. Each collision lands with raw force, water splashing beneath tangled limbs. Growls blend with the sound of churning mud, forming a chaotic, relentless rhythm. Neither contender yields. Both believe that backing down would cost more than any wound. Then, without warning, the water behind them shifts and swells into a dark, rising shape. A Nile crocodile, massive and ancient, bursts from the surface, its yellow eyes catching the first light of dawn. The predator needs no invitation. Its presence alone commands instant fear. In a heartbeat, the rivals break apart, pride abandoned in favor of survival. The confrontation ends without a victor, not through defeat, but through understanding. In this world, survival is not decided by strength alone, but by knowing precisely when to retreat. On the African savanna, every confrontation eventually ends, yet the struggle to exist never truly does. Here, each breath and every step marks the fragile line between survival and vanishing forever. Real strength is not always revealed through fangs or speed, but through endurance, the ability to stand firm and withstand the relentless pressure of the wild. Among the many players on this untamed stage, the Cape buffalo stands as a symbol of unity. It is more than an individual body. It is a shared will. When facing the savanna's most feared predators, their solidarity and resilience transform them into one of the land's most formidable coalitions. A living wall proving that survival is not always about striking first, but about standing together. And so each day in Africa draws to a close without absolute victors, only survivors. The savanna repeats its oldest lesson in a world where anything can fail. True strength lies in remaining on your feet for one moment longer. In the midst of this otherworldly silent expanse, a herd of elk makes its way slowly across the untouched snow. These massive creatures of the frozen north bear enormous antlers, not only as weapons, but as emblems of resilience and strength against the biting winter. They move with measured steps across the snowy plains, ears swiveling constantly for the faintest sound. Every hoofprint sinks deep into the fresh snow, leaving a mark of life itself. Yet in Yellowstone, even these giants are not beyond danger. Every hoofprint sinks deep into the fresh snow, leaving a mark of life itself. Yet in Yellowstone, even these giants are not beyond danger. They do not rush. Patience is their ally. The wind shifts, and the subtle crunch of snow under the elk's hooves carries through the mist. One young elk wanders slightly from the group. The herd leader signals with a glance, and instantly, the animals move as one shadow streaking across the white, dark arrows cutting through the landscape. Without warning, the hunt erupts. The elk charge forward, muscles straining, while the wolves close in, relentless and coordinated. They rotate positions, guiding and pressuring the herd along a precise path. In the wild, the cooperative hunting tactics of wolves stand as one of the most extraordinary examples of evolutionary behavior. They do not strike directly. Instead, they work together with precision, flanking, isolating, and driving their prey toward a place where the balance of power can shift. The air trembles with heavy breaths, the crunch of hooves in the snow, and the echo of a pursuit that may end in life or death. Further ahead, a frozen creek slices across the landscape. Dark water winds beneath a thin veil of ice. The elk pauses for only a moment, then launches itself forward. Its massive frame plunges into the icy water like a living spear. The wolves stop at the bank, growling and pacing, yet none dare brave the freezing current. Even these feared predators are at a disadvantage in deep, frigid water. Their strength and agility fade quickly, and a single misstep could imperil the entire pack. For an instant, time seems to stand still. The elk swims with raw determination, muscles stiff, fur soaked and heavy, yet it presses on. With one final push, it reaches the far shore. Drenched, trembling, but alive, the wolves watch silently, eyes sharp but unyielding. The chance is gone. Victory belongs to the prey, while the hunters face a quiet, humbling defeat. In the wild, especially across the unforgiving lands of Yellowstone, patience is a weapon, not a flaw. Wolves do not waste energy on every attempt. They wait, keenly aware of the exact moment when their prey weakens, when the landscape or the weather tips in their favor. Today may have ended in failure, but hunger will return, bringing with it relentless ferocity. In these frozen lands, no predator can afford prolonged weakness. Time rewards those who endure, who refuse to surrender to the cold. The pack moves back in silence, a hush heavier than defeat itself. No howls echo through the snow-laden trees. Only the rhythm of labored breaths and the crunch of paws in frost breaks the quiet. In the shadows, fleeting expressions pass some frustration, some respect, others simply alert, waiting for the next chance. Leading the way is the alpha, a robust male with dark gray fur and a thick, commanding neck. He does not glance behind. His presence alone maintains order, authority flowing with every step. Beneath that dense coat, a body of agile power waits, muscles coiled, teeth sharp enough to rip into an elk in moments. In nature, true leadership does not come from size alone, but wisdom. The alpha knows how to gauge danger, select the right target, and keep the pack united. The Valley Pack once consisted of 6 to 8 wolves, a compact but highly organized society. Every member had a role. The leaders charted the path, the flankers closed in, the distractors disrupted the prey's formation, and the young learners watched silently, absorbing the craft of the hunt. In the world of wolves, teamwork is their most lethal weapon, often more decisive than strength. They hunt not with raw power alone, but with strategy, discipline, and a hierarchy every member honors. The alpha pauses on a small rise, scanning the distant plateau. drives them, yet the pack moves with patience. They spread into a wide arc, approaching a clearing where the air is thick with a primal signal sweat, mud, and something older, raw, unyielding power. Through the mist, a shadow drifts across the gray snow. But this is no ordinary shade, it is a living force. A herd of bison moves across the valley, colossal, almost prehistoric, each weighing nearly 900 kilograms. Their broad heads and short, curved horns could crush a predator with a single strike. Thick coats shield them from the harsh winter, and their massive frames are built to endure, not to flee. Bison stay tightly bonded. At the first sign of threat, they form a defensive circle, horns outward, calves and weaker members in the center. It's an ancient strategy, simple yet brilliant, a living barrier that protects the vulnerable and warns any predator daring to challenge them. The wolves know this, and that is why they do not rush. From the hillside, they watch in silence, eyes sharp, movements deliberate. There is no room for impulsiveness here. Facing a bison without a plan is a death sentence. So they change the rhythm of the hunt. They move along the herd, striking from the flanks, pressing the edges. Every nudge, every parallel dash builds tension, forcing the bison to tighten their formation. Chaos begins to creep in. A weakness appears in the defense. One lone bison starts to fall behind, just a brief lapse in balance, but in the wild, a single moment can mark the line between life and death. In the awakening meadows, herds of bison move with deliberate slowness. But the scene has changed, no longer silent shadows drifting over snow, but a raw, primeval force, alive and commanding. Spring has arrived, and with it, the males enter rut. The land decides through strength, endurance, and sheer determination who will pass on their bloodline. In the animal kingdom, especially among massive herbivores, only the fittest, the strongest, and most vigorous win the right to reproduce. Bison fights are not just shows of power, they are nature's crucible, where only the worthy endure. Two colossal males lock eyes, dust clinging to their immense bodies, breath steaming in the dawn light. Then the collision comes. Tons of muscle and bone crash together. Horns slam like breaking boulders. Hooves gouge the earth and dust swirls like a storm. The duel is short but merciless. Every push, every pivot shakes the ground beneath them. In the end, one yields, exhausted, retreating while the victor claims the dominant male, now the guardian of the herd's future, ushers in a new generation. Weeks pass, and the outcome of these silent struggles becomes clear. Between April and June, the females give birth after nearly 9 months of gestation. Within hours, the calves are on shaky legs, and before the day ends, they are running across the meadow. Their fur is pale, still hornless, and their bright eyes reflect awe at the vastness around them. One nibbles at a butterfly flitting above the grass. Another leaps through wildflower, taon, caught in the rhythm of the wind. Soft, uncertain calls float across the fields, carried on the breeze. Close by, a watchful mother surveys her young, calm yet ever alert for danger. Soft, uncertain calls float across the fields, carried on the breeze. close by. A watchful mother surveys her young, calm yet ever alert for danger. The morning dew had melted, leaving the earth glistening, dotted with golden sparks swaying in the soft breeze. The valley's wolf pack had finally found a rare pause after a brutal winter. They frolicked in the fresh grass, a fleeting image of serenity in a land shaped by survival. From the shadows of the bushes, a small figure emerged cautiously, a wolf pup. Covered in a soft mix of gray and brown fur, with floppy ears and unsteady legs. It sniffed the crisp air and lifted its head skyward, as if the world had just unveiled itself. Then, the wind shifted. The pack froze instantly, muzzles rising. A dry snap echoed through the forest, not the wind, not a deer. Out of the thicket stepped a massive black bear, its broad shoulders hunched, fur thick and dusted with earth. It moved deliberately, exuding a quiet confidence. Drawn perhaps by curiosity or the scent of the pup. The alpha male rose silently, muscles coiled and eyes sharp. Without a growl, without a sound, the wolves formed a semicircle, advancing as one. The mother nudged her pup back, while two others stepped forward, creating an unbroken line of defense. Not a single wolf retreated. The bear roared, a deep, forest-shaking sound, then surged forward with the force of a living boulder. The encounter was brief but intense. Within moments, the bear paused, breathing heavily, letting out a shorter, exhausted growl. Slowly, it turned and disappeared into the woods, leaving heavy footprints in the damp grass. The wolves held their ground, panting, eyes fixed on the vanishing shadow. They understood the quiet truth: survival is not always about killing. Sometimes it's about endurance, unity, and the strength to stand firm. Most importantly, the pup remained unharmed, a testament to the power of vigilance and family. Across the vast landscapes of Yellowstone, life continues its relentless cycle. Each new sunrise brings fresh opportunities and fresh challenges. Predators hunt, prey struggles, and nature maintains its delicate balance. Here, strength, cunning, and endurance decide who survives and who becomes part of the ever-changing scenery. What about you? How did it feel to witness these battles for survival? Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us which moments of this wild journey touched you the most. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the heart of Yellowstone, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you can keep exploring the most breathtaking corners of our planet with us. At the northern edge of our planet, where the last glimmers of winter light fade quickly into endless darkness, lies the immense and silent expanse of Siberia. This vast land, spanning over 13 million square kilometers of Russia, stands as one of the world's most pristine and untamed wildernesses. In this realm, ice is not just a season, it is life itself. The Siberian winter is relentless, freezing the land in a seemingly eternal grip. The wind sweeps through the taiga with brutal intensity, whistling across snow-laden branches and leaving a chilling stillness in its wake. Temperatures can plunge to nearly 50 degrees below zero, and snow blankets the land continuously for weeks. Amid this frozen solitude, life persists in extraordinary forms. The Siberian tiger, the largest cat on Earth, prowls the deep snow with ghostly silence. Its thick fur and powerful build reflect a life forged in isolation and hardened by the extreme cold. Every tiger claims a massive territory, stretching across hundreds of square kilometers, where each step carries risk and reward. Food is scarce, forcing it to hunt relentlessly from wild boar and elk to scavenging when prey is scarce. In this harsh environment, even the mightiest predators must fight tirelessly every day to survive. When the harsh winter finally loosens its icy grip over Siberia, life stirs once more. The snow that had blanketed the land for months begins to retreat, revealing the dark, damp forest floor. Tiny green shoots push through the thawing earth, while rivers, long frozen, start flowing again, murmuring as if the heartbeat of the wilderness has returned. In this awakening landscape, one of the region's most impressive creatures emerges. Deep within an ice-laden den, the Siberian brown bear stirs from nearly 6 months of hibernation. With a weight that can reach 600 kilograms. Its first steps on the wet ground are hesitant and clumsy, but soon the bear regains its full strength. Every movement shakes the earth beneath its massive frame, and its curved claws dig into the soil with purpose. Hunger drives it forward, and the search for food begins immediately. Despite its massive size, the bear is cunning and adaptable. It roots through the soil for edible tubers, climbs slopes to reach thorny shrubs, and overturns decaying logs to find insects and larvae, making the most of the short Siberian summer. The true spectacle begins when the salmon swim upstream to spawn. Bears gather along the riverbanks, eyes narrowed against the bright sun, ears alert to the faintest splash. In a sudden, precise motion, the bear plunges into the icy water, claws slicing through the current, seizing a wriggling salmon. Water sprays in all directions as the bear settles on the shore, devouring its prey with focused calm. Each meal restores energy and builds the fat reserves necessary to survive the next long winter. A fully grown brown bear can consume up to 40 kilograms of food in a single day. Its existence is a continuous cycle of movement, foraging, and survival. In Siberia, time is merciless, and the summer is brief, a fleeting window of life before the cold returns. The taiga was bathed in the copper light of evening. Sunlight streamed through the tall pines, illuminating the moist forest floor with a warm, golden hue. In this quiet wilderness, a mother bear and her 3 cubs moved cautiously through the underbrush. The mother, a powerful female with fur matted in mud and resin, carefully picked blueberries while her 6-month-old cubs tumbled over roots, chasing insects and exploring the forest with clumsy curiosity. The calm was fleeting. From the far slope, a massive figure emerged from the shadows. A fully grown male bear, nearly a third larger than the mother, his dark, smoky fur stretched over solid muscle, approached with careful steps. His small, piercing eyes scanned the surroundings. In the wild, no space is ever completely safe, and territory is constantly contested. For adult male bears, cubs that do not belong to them are not companions, they are potential threats. In some cases, males will kill unrelated young to bring the female back into heat and ensure their own offspring inherit the next generation. That afternoon, this harsh instinct made itself known once more. The encounter was short but intense, a flurry of roars and swipes. male eventually backed down, not out of fear, but realizing the risk of injury was too high. With a final roar, he turned and disappeared into the forest, leaving only his presence echoed in the trees. At dawn, pale light spread across the taiga, settling over the exhaustion of the previous night. The mother bear stood, her fur tangled and streaked with blood, yet her eyes remained sharp and resolute. Her cubs followed closely, unaware of the danger they had narrowly avoided. The mother had risked her life to protect them, and her vigilance remained unbroken. With the first morning rays breaking through the canopy, the family began their journey toward a distant stream where the salmon were beginning their run. The water lay over 3 kilometers away, a long trek for such young cubs, but necessary. Summer is the season of survival lessons: how to forage, sense danger, understand the sounds of the forest, and most importantly, how to endure on their own. In the shadowy depths of Siberia's ancient pine forests, where sunlight barely pierces the thick canopy, a tiny master of the air moves almost unseen. The Siberian flying squirrel may be small and light as a handful of leaves, yet it possesses a skill in motion unmatched by most mammals. Throughout the day, it rests tucked away in hollow birches, wrapped in a nest of dried moss and bark fragments, appearing like a soft bundle of forest debris. As evening falls and the taiga is bathed in a pale green twilight, the little squirrel slowly awakens. Its dark, glossy eyes reflect the faint moonlight, allowing it to navigate with astonishing precision in the gloom. Each movement is deliberate and silent, as if the air itself supports its glide. Unlike other creatures, it does not leap or bound, it floats. From a branch, it pauses for a moment, gauging distance and the current of the wind. Then, with a delicate push, it launches into the void, A thin membrane of skin stretching from its forelimbs to hind limbs unfurls, forming a natural glider. The squirrel doesn't fall its sails. It drifts between the trees, steering with its tail and limbs, moving through the forest like a living shadow, a breath of wind taking flight. As night deepens over the Siberian forest, the tiny flying squirrel moves silently through the ancient trees. Its fur, soft and muted in tone, blends perfectly with the shadows, rendering it almost invisible to any predator. Each leap is calculated, every glide precise, an aerial dance perfected over countless generations. By night, it forages quietly, nibbling on tender shoots, fungi clinging to damp bark, and occasional seeds hidden among the moss. It takes only what it needs, conserving energy for the long winter ahead. Unlike larger forest dwellers, it does not rely on brute force or sharp claws. It thrives on stealth, agility, and careful planning. When winter arrives, snow settles thickly on the branches, yet the flying squirrel remains in the treetops. Its fur thickens, its glides shorten, and caches of food become vital for survival. Every stored morsel is a lifeline, each movement measured to preserve warmth and strength. In a land dominated by tigers, wolves, bears, and eagles, this little creature is neither feared nor dominant, yet its quiet existence embodies the subtle, magical beauty of nature. A shadow slips among the trees, a whisper of life. A reminder that even in the harshest wilderness, gentleness and resilience endure. In the heart of the Siberian winter, the landscape is a vast sea of ice and snow, stretching endlessly under a pale, fragile sun. The forest lies in silence, stripped bare of life's usual chorus. Only the wind whispers through the frozen trees, and the crunch of ice underfoot occasionally breaks the stillness, announcing the presence of those who endure against all odds. Through this frozen expanse, a herd of muskoxen moves with calm determination. Each massive creature draped in thick, shaggy fur is a living relic of the Ice Age, a silent witness to millennia of survival. Their dense outer hair nearly touches the snow, while a softer, insulated undercoat caveat keeps them alive in temperatures that can plunge far below -50 degrees. It is a coat designed by evolution, both soft and unyielding, a perfect adaptation to the harshest conditions on Earth. The herd does not hurry. Step by step, they press forward, leaving deep impressions in the snow that mark their slow but steady journey. Their pace is deliberate, measured, the kind born from centuries of living in a land where patience is survival. Each hoofbeat is a testament to endurance, a rhythm in the silent symphony of the frozen wilderness. In this frozen realm, life persists not through speed or strength alone, but through resilience, cooperation, and the wisdom to survive the relentless winter. As the storm subsides, the tundra falls into a quiet, almost sacred calm. The muskoxen continue their slow, deliberate trek, each step pressing into the snow, leaving deep impressions that will soon vanish under fresh flurries. The calves follow closely, wobbling but persistent, learning the rhythm of survival from their elders. Every movement is a lesson in patience, endurance, and the quiet strength that has carried their species through millennia. Above them, the sky lightens with a pale, frosty hue. The wind softens, carrying the faint scent of hidden mosses and lichens. The herd spreads slightly, grazing cautiously, yet never straying far from the protective circle of adults. In these vast, frozen landscapes, life is measured not in speed or cunning alone, but in resilience. Every breath, every step, every shared glance among the herd is a testament to a species perfectly adapted to the harshest winters on Earth. Here in Siberia, to survive is not to conquer the elements, but to endure them together strong, united, and unwavering against the relentless cold. Across the remote wilderness of Yellowstone and the vast frozen expanses of Siberia, life persists with awe-inspiring force. In these lands, predators lie in wait, prey fight to survive, and the timeless rhythm of the natural world continues, precise and unchanging over thousands of years. Here, survival is not merely a contest of strength, it is a lesson in resilience, strategy, and adaptation. It shows us that raw power does not always win, that collaboration can outmatch instinct, and that even in the harshest climates, life finds a way to endure and flourish. wolves, bison, and bears follow their ancient cycles, humanity casts the greatest shadow. Forests shrink, rivers grow toxic, and the fragile balance of these ecosystems teeters on the brink. Yet hope remains alive. Every protected area, every conservation initiative, and every individual who takes action becomes a spark capable of changing the fate of an entire habitat. To protect the wild is not merely an act of compassion, it is essential for our own survival. Our destinies are intertwined. If these creatures vanish, so too does a part of our world. For an instant, time seems to stand still. The elk swims with raw determination, muscles stiff, fur soaked and heavy, yet it presses on. With one final push, it reaches the far shore. The rolling plains of Yellowstone will continue to resound with the thundering steps of bison. Wolves will lift their calls beneath the Siberian auroras. And if we take the time to truly listen, we will understand that the wilderness does not require our mercy, it commands our respect. If this journey through the wild inspired you, show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Explore with us the untamed corners of the planet, where every life is vital and every choice leaves an impact.